What's up everybody, it's your boy Hugh here from Creator Up. Today I'm gonna talk about a very exciting topic, how to stabilize 360 stereoscopic 3D video footage in post. So if you own a stereoscopic camera, including the Google GoPro Odyssey, and then the Google Halo, the eCamera Halo, and then Kandao Obsidian S and R, like the camera I reviewed on my other video, and also this camera right here, Insta360 Pro. All of this camera can shoot stereoscopic 3D in 360. So this one can shoot up to 6K stereoscopic. But the problem is there's no image stabilization on any of this camera. You either use hardware stabilization, but again, those cameras are heavy, or you just don't move the camera. So today, I'm actually going to talk about how to stabilize this footage in post-production. So just for example, this is the example footage I used, shot by Insta360 Pro, this camera. This camera actually have an in-camera gyro stabilization on 8K mono 360 video footage, but it does not have stabilization for 360 6K video footage. So if you use this camera and you happen to moving the camera around without a gimbal stabilization, or you attach the camera upside down on a drone, and then the footage will be unwatchable if you watch it on a VR goggle like this one, the Oculus Rift. Today I'm gonna teach you way you can stabilize the 6K stereo footage out from this camera, and also the same principle can apply any stereoscopic 3D video footage. So I already prepared some footage for you guys. So I'm just gonna open the GoPro player. So let's first take a look at this footage. So that is actually up and down, left eye and right eye stereoscopic footage. So make sure that's the case. And then look at the camera, it's really stable and uneven. Look at that, look at stop sign, and it's really shaky. And then with this one right here, just pan the camera right here. Now it's very stable. Pay attention right here. It's very stable. The secret to how to stabilize this footage is actually using two software. One is Mettle Skybox version 2. By the way, Mettle Skybox right now is free of charge for anybody actually own an Adobe license. So have a subscription to Adobe Cloud. So you should follow this instruction and get it. And then the next one is actually Canvas 360 Pro. This is an amazing little plugin, very affordable, and it's this plugin to actually make stabilized stereoscopic footage possible. So let's go in post for step-by-step tutorial on how to actually stabilize 260 6K stereoscopic 3D footage out of this camera. So we actually gonna switch machine. I want to demo you how to do post-production on a Mac. I have an external hard drive, 8 TB black box. External hard drive connect with USB-C. So all my footage is right here, so I can interchange between my Mac and my PC. And then I also using this little thing, which you can use the same thing on as a SSD drive attached to your Insta360 Pro right here. So that is the same SSD hard drive you can use on the camera, but again, you can also use it as a cache media on your Adobe Premiere. So that will basically triple the speed of the rendering time. So that's the trick I use to increase my rendering time. First thing I want to show you is the 360 Stitcher. So I want to show you everything from the step one. So step one is basically import your footage. So basically you simply drag that into the Stitcher. By the way, if you are not using this camera, using other stereoscopic camera, you can skip this. But I'll just go through really quick. So pick stereo, here resolution, and only thing I want to mention that is I actually gonna output as a PNG, and then why I want to output as a PNG, because I tried a couple like all different options, H.265 or 264, and from the Stitcher, using PNG actually achieve the highest quality, and I want and always want the best output quality possible. Usually I don't even use Stitcher. I actually stitch footage with Mythica VR or ABP, but since it's a stereo footage, I want to save time. I've just used a Stitcher. I already stitched it for you, so you don't need to sit here wait for me to stitch that. So first step is go ahead and open Adobe After Effects. The first step is we're gonna prep the footage. So this is all the PNG output from the Stitcher. So double click right here and go ahead and import this footage. So the footage is right here under this folder. So pick the first one, the 01, hit Option here, make sure PNG sequence is selected, and then go ahead and import that. So all the frame will just come here. It's easier to see, right? Go ahead and drag that into a composition. So as you see, this is a 3D stereoscopic video right here. But again, I also shot on this camera, flat color mode, so I can retain the most amount of color information. And that does require to color grade. So I'm gonna do this real quick. Okay, that's just a very simple quick color correction. Great. And that is all I'm gonna do. Basically, you gotta prep your footage, just do a color correction. And then I'm gonna go ahead and pre-comp this. Move everything in the comp as a base footage. I'm gonna create a new composition right here. And this composition is, pay attention on the spec, is actually eco-rectangulars 2:1 ratio. Same length of the footage, but I actually gotta save time. Don't want you to sit here and wait for me to render, so I'm only gonna output the first 75 frame right here. And this is my top view, so I'm gonna name it top view. Go ahead and hit OK. So let's make it even smaller. And then go ahead and drop the base footage right here. And then see alignment, okay, align it to the top. So that is the top view. Basically, it's the left eye of the stereoscopic footage. The whole point, we try to break this down. So we have top and bottom to work with. So go ahead and just output this. Composition, add to render queue. Okay, and in here, because this is the output, I want to retain the highest quality possible, so I would gonna pick the photo JPEG, 100% in quality. That is the highest quality possible, and go ahead and hit OK. And then you go ahead and render the top view, and then after done, well, actually go back here, create a second comp, and this time this will be the bottom view. Okay. So open the bottom view right here. Again, drop the base footage right in here. This time align it in to the bottom. So that is the right eye, the bottom view. Select the footage and go ahead and add to render queue. So now you're gonna output the top view and bottom view. Again, make sure that you are on the same setting, which is photo JPEG. And then you can go ahead and hit render. Okay, now render is done. I actually already have the footage right here. The render we just did, and drop it in here. For organization purpose, create a footage. Oh, and just drop everything that we don't need there. Okay. So now we have the two render, left eye, top view, and bottom view. So now I'm gonna use the magic, which go under the script. Again, go ahead and download Canvas 360 if you haven't already. The light version is free, so you can actually try it out first, see if you like it or not. And I have the Pro here, so just open Canvas 360 Pro. And then now go ahead and create a project. I name it Stereo. And then I'm gonna create a new composition, a new front camera, and then make sure that you actually get the frame rate and duration. If you don't see the duration here as a frame number, for example, you can go ahead, it's command, and click it, and you will flip between time code and the frame number. So what we need is frame number. So go back again and open script, camera 360, okay. Stereo, new camera, make sure the same frame rate, which is right here, right, 29.97, and duration is 75 frame. Go ahead and hit create, and then let canvas to do its magic. So now go ahead and import the footage. So go ahead and pick the right one. So we want to import the top view, which is the left eye first, and it's an equal rectangular footage. Point of view is just default in front, and name it as a background, BG. Go ahead and add that. Drop it in the corner because I'm on the Mac, so I want to just speed up the render, and also I'm recording a screen right now, so pre-texting on my graphic card. So after you import that, you can actually have a working camera right here. If you hit C and pan around and see the 360 footage in real time to help you to figure out what is going on. Again, if you go back, go to POV, and then reset your camera into the center view. Right now, I import the footage. Now I need to track this. So Canvas allow you to track equal rectangular footage and then stabilize it. So how to do that is first look around to see like what is a good point to track. So if I look around, what I'm looking at right now is have the front and the background. So we have the large amount of parallax. With the parallax, it's easy to track. You don't want to be like anything moving, like the car's moving, right? You don't want anything to be moving in the frame, and also make sure the thing you're gonna track is always in the frame. So I think the stop sign is gonna be always in the frame in here. So I'll make sure the first frame is like right there, so I can track the stop sign. So one great thing about Canvas is compared to Mettle Skybox or Mocha is this cool feature that you can animate your tracking area in a 1080p format to make sure that your camera can always see the tracking point to track this, so to increase the accuracy of tracking. Let me just demo that feature for you. So let's double click that to reset the camera. So now in the first frame, the stop sign I want to track is not in frame. So pan it until you see it. And then go ahead and insert keyframe orientation. And then let's see the car is moving. Moving. It's still in here. But in here, it's kind of out of frame. So I'll turn it. See, we insert a keyframe right here. Let's assume that if in this point the stop sign is gone, you can still pan it and bring it back into your frame. So we actually create what they call a tracking POV. So I want Canvas to track this POV because in this POV, I can always see the thing I want to track, which is the stop sign. So, and I go ahead on the POV, I will name this as a track POV, and just save it. And then I create a tracking POV. So now, go ahead and track. So which path you pick, you only have one path, the background path you just created. But point of view, I'm not going to just pick the front view, I actually pick my track POV I just created, and then I go ahead and track camera. So depending on how fast the machine, it's going to take a while. In Mac, it's actually pretty fast. Okay, the tracking is just finished. Great. So now I want to find a point to create a 3D camera so we can see better. Again, I know what I'm going to track right now. I want to track this stop sign. So I'll go ahead and pick all this. I believe it's Command. Click. All the tracking point is around the stop sign, and also the blue street side. I want to use all this smaller right here. So that is the area I want to track. So go ahead, right click, and you can create a solid because each point I want to create as a solid, but you can also just create one solid and the camera. So I actually gonna do that. So I go ahead and create a shape right here and the camera, as you see right here, this tracking camera. Okay, the next thing is it's a lot of feature. If you scrub through it, you see this can be a really good fun ground. So go ahead and select all this point, and that's give me a shape. Let's make it smaller. Right click and create a solid. So the second thing I will track is right here. See if I can also track right here. So I can also track right here. That's a good shape to track. So create a solid. So I created 3 shape to track, which is I think is good enough. So go ahead now. The step 2, right? Select layer. So go ahead and select the 3D tracking camera, which is a camera, and all the solid. So I go ahead and select all this layer, follow instruction, and then inject tracking data. And go ahead. And by the way, make sure you inject in tracking POV, because that is the POV we are tracking. So make sure you inject the right one, point of view. So go ahead and hit add tracking data. Immediately, data is injected. And as you see, the footage already stable. So if you right now go ahead and go to POV, and a new POV got generated called stabilized. That is the stabilized version of the tracking. So if you go ahead and preview that, let's just go ahead and preview that. As you see, right now the footage already been stabilized. That's awesome. So stabilization is done. Now you can go ahead and hide those solid. So the next step is I am gonna output this. That is not the view I want to see. So I actually gotta adjust the point of view. So I at 180 degree, flip the camera. So that is the front of the car. So actually that's what I want to look. But I want to look a little bit like there. And then I will make this in 50%. So the next thing I'm gonna do is actually, another great thing about Canvas is allow you to straighten the horizon in a really intuitive way. So on this like 360 pass, you can literally align the horizon line with the horizon center of this frame. The horizon will align. So to help you to do that, go ahead and click this button to open your title save. So you know the center of everything. So the point is to align the horizon line into the center of this frame, which is what our goal is. So first, make sure that that's the center you want. So that's exactly the center I want. So go ahead and pan up right here to make sure that the horizon is in the middle of the frame, which is right now. And then just make sure the rotation is kind of straight. So make sure the horizon is in the same line right now. So I think 1.8 will be good. And then that should be 9 to make sure that is that center in the horizon line. So that make sure the footage is perfectly level in the horizon line. So that is actually my output POV I want to use. So go ahead and again save as the output POV. Go ahead and save it. So that is the POV I want to output. So go back to the project. So now I'm gonna output, right? So in the output, I'm gonna pick the POV I want to output, and then I'll output as a QMAT. And then it's a 6K. But my original footage is actually 64 by 64. It's a stereoscopic footage. And that is the size I want to output as a QMAP. So go ahead and hit update. And then Canvas will generate a QMAP for us. So with the QMAP, then you want to output as an equal rectangular footage. How to actually do that? Now we're actually gonna bring in Mettle Skybox. Oh, under effect. Oh, make sure you click frame right here. Go under effect and bring in Mettle Skybox, Mettle Skybox converter. And your source is a QMAP 4x3, and the output is equal rectangle 2x1. And see, output frame should be 6400 because that is the original source footage. With that, you can go ahead and hit render, and then just make sure that name thing correctly. You should call this top view, stabilize, and save it. Again, the output resolution should be photo JPEG with 100%. Okay, so now we have the top view. Now we're gonna output the bottom view to make sure that the stabilization data is shared between two views, so you will have the perfectly stabilized stereoscopic footage. So now this is a pretty important step. Go ahead and go to 360 tab, double click on your background layer right here, your background path, and now you see the original footage right here. This is the top view, but now we can simply replace that as a bottom view. Go ahead and delete the top view, or you can just hide it. And now, really important step, all we need to do right now is just go ahead and click stereo output, and everything will just update for you. You didn't do anything. So the next step is just simply go ahead and hit at the render queue and output the bottom view as well. Again, name it correctly. This is your bottom view. Again, make sure the quality is in photo JPEG. Okay. And then go ahead and render that. Okay, so after you finish render, go ahead and go find the file you just rendered. Go ahead and drag it in. So now the last step is actually to combine them back together and create a stereoscopic footage. So go ahead and hit and create a new comp. That is your final output. And your final output sizes is actually a square shape because it's the top and bottom equal rectangular stereoscopic footage. So same frame rate, go ahead and create that. And now you can go ahead and drop the top view and bottom view there. And the top view, just make sure it align in the top. And the bottom view align in the bottom. And then you can go ahead and create that final output. And that's it. That's how you stabilize a 3D stereoscopic 360 video footage. So if you have any question, please comment below and ask me the question, and I will answer it as soon as possible. And if you like this video, please don't forget to give me a thumb up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet and you want to learn more about image stabilization for 360 video footage or any other post-production tips and tricks about how to create perfect 360 video footage, do subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time.